Okay, the subject is called Political Science and International Relations. Today I am giving orientation to the subject. Okay, but can you tell me, when you see this headline, Political Science and International Relations, what do you feel about it? I mean, what kind of impression you get regarding what is it that it studies? What is that about? Going by the wording. Please, can't you come forward? Please. Please come forward. There are so many seats here. Please. Please come forward. I will not harm you. Please come forward. So it says political science and international relations. What is the meaning that it conveys? Suppose one studies this subject in detail. What is it that he is more likely to be good at? My list. What is ideology? Ideology is even more difficult word. And how can it convey ideology when it is about science? What name, Secretary? So most of you are from BTech. Some are from BA, BCom, BCA. Most are from BTech. Okay. So what does political science convey? Suppose if it is changed to political technology and international relations, will it change? Okay, at least what does international relations convey? State-state relations, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana relations. Country. Okay. How do you know it is country? From the subject heading. That is just what? International. What is the difference between country and nation and state? Okay, at least country, nation.
Nation is a feeling, nationality is a feeling, whereas country is something which has a territory and population.
Okay, country is a geographical entity. Nation is supposed to have a feeling. That's true. International means, when do we say something international relations? What does that mean? International means what?
In different nations.
Between
different nations.
different nations. What is the word you use to say something within a nation? Intra. So inter is across. International, across. International relations means across nations. So relations across nations. Okay. So does it mean we will know about India-Nepal relations? Yes, right? Indo-US, Iran, Iraq, Israel, like that. So international relations are about relations across nations. Okay. So it's easy to guess what international relations is about. But what is political science? Why do they want to call it science and add political to it? What is political science supposed to study?
Study of various events happening in political sphere.
Study of various events, political sphere. So political science is surely it is about politics. That we can say. So we can guess what is international relations. That's true. We can guess what is political. Reasonable. Of course, we will see what is political. Then what is political science? Please, we don't respond. You are my topmost priority. They can only listen, that's all. So, what is political and what is science? Scientific study of political phenomena. Okay, that is reasonable to think. Scientific study of politics. So international relations is very clear. International relations is very clear. This political science, scientific study of politics. Can you tell me what is scientific study of society called? Sociology. In fact, they haven't said scientific study. Does ology means a scientific study? Sociology. Ology means a study. So sociology is only a study of society. What is study of mind? Psychology. Study of earth? Geology, geography related. Study of mankind? Anthropology. So does ology mean study of or scientific study of? Just study of. So they are calling themselves a study of something. But why are these people calling it science? They can add some politics plus ology, right? Politicology. So you mean to say politics is studied scientifically and society is studied carelessly, unscientifically? Society, mind, earth, mankind, then? Several perspectives. So if there are several perspectives, it makes it science. Remember, what makes it a science? When there are several perspectives or when there is one perspective? So, why is this political science whereas others are sociology, psychology and anthropology?
Opinions can differ in those, and this is more scientific.
Opinions can differ in sociology,
From people to people.
in anthropology, in geology also.
Not
Okay. But in political science, opinions don't differ.
Because maybe we should reflect from our past or what's happening right now in a more scientific way.
But what is scientific way then?
Calculations, analysis, true data.
So these people study in terms of calculations, analysis, graphs, data gathering, whereas sociology, anthropology, psychology, and geology, and also what zoology, there are so many ologies, whereas they have only some ideas and opinions. So why should these people call themselves political science rather than politicology? Experimenting. You mean to say experiments are done in political science, whereas no such experiments are done in sociology, psychology? Ology refers to study. So when so many of them call themselves ologies, why are these people calling it political science?
So maybe it is because of this proven where science is same everywhere.
Science is same everywhere, and so politics is about unique. But then why should they call this science?
Proven. Proven.
Proven. So you mean to say they have got some proven truths about politics. Whereas in sociology, anthropology, psychology, they don't have any proven facts. Anyway, you all think I know the answer, but actually I don't. What I know is that definitely this is not science. This is much less scientific than, say, psychology. Definitely geology, zoology. So maybe there somebody coined those subjects. Here nobody coined. People are studying politics. So when science was becoming more important, somewhere they wanted to call it political science. Otherwise, political science is no way different from sociology or psychology or anthropology. Political science also is simply a study of politics. There are no mathematics, graphs, generalizations, experiments. In fact, psychology has experiments, and zoology has experiments. But there is nothing like experiment in political science, maybe very rare. So, simply if somebody calls himself by a particular name, rule number 1, don't believe it. Who is megastar? So should you believe that he is mega? How did he get megastar? How is he really because of mega? Somebody called it and the fans said mega. And since he got megastar, nobody else can call himself megastar. In fact, maybe Chiranjeevi got megastar because somebody already booked superstar. Who booked Superstar? Hmm? Hmm? Very good. You are very knowledgeable. I thought you might not guess. Because that is about history. We have a generation gap. So for us, a superstar is very clear. So for you also, it's very clear. Good. Superstar Krishna. Mahesh Babu? Mahesh Babu superstar? No. Hmm? Superstar's son. But it is not, he is not superstar. Who is rebel? See, look. Is rebel star really different from a superstar? No, just that he got that, he booked that title. So, rule number 1, don't believe. Just say, okay, it's your name. You managed to have enough number of people call you by that name. We acknowledge. Power star. So, like Pawan Kalyan is power star, Mahesh Babu and some other rebels, Prabhas is rebel star, political science is political science. They just added science to it. In fact, one sociologist wanted a scientific study of society, so he wanted to call it social physics. But he found somebody else already took the title. Since he didn't know what to do, he called it sociology. So that's how the term sociology came. So it is all about how certain pioneers chose to call it. So there is absolutely nothing science about political science different from what is there in other disciplines. Okay. So political science, you can say, is study of politics, a systematic study of politics. If some people want to call it scientific study, they don't mean anything more than systematic study. There are nothing like generalizations, data, experimentation. Okay. Not arriving at one view and say this is what science is and you should believe. There is nothing like that. So you can't really try to see science in political science. Political science studies politics in a particular way, in a systematic way, in an organized way. Is it clear? And more importantly, one way to know what that subject is all about is to see what is covered under that subject. Isn't it? So, when UPSC says political science and international relations, what does it want us to study? Isn't it? Now, all of you are given booklets, right? Now in the booklet, go through the syllabus. How many papers are there? How many sections are there? And what is it that you can clearly make out? And what is it that is there already in GS? Go through how many papers first of all. So how many papers do we have? Go through the syllabus. Okay. Syllabus. Syllabus is given in page number 5. Okay. Do you know, I have reproduced exactly what is there in UPSC. At many places, those who are reproducing the syllabus have not reproduced as per UPSC. So this is exactly as per UPSC syllabus. Okay. What is the title of paper 1? Political theory and Indian politics. Political theory and Indian politics. Okay. What is the title of paper 2? Comparative politics and international relations. Okay. Now, because paper 1 title is political theory and Indian politics, suppose paper 1 is divided into section A and section B. What will section A be called and what will section B called? Political theory should be called section A and section B should be called? But look, they gave a different name for section B. Okay. Okay. And did they give any name to section 1? No. See how careless they are. First of all, it is not science. They call it political science. But anyway, UPSC is not responsible. Leave it. But then in paper 1, when it says political theory and Indian politics, we assume section A, political theory, and section B, Indian politics, right? There is no title to section A. And section B says Indian government and politics. Isn't it? Next, paper 2 title, Comparative Politics and International Relations. Okay. And then section A, they just said comparative political analysis and international politics. So again, that is section A. And then section B, India and the world. Okay. So paper 2 is called Comparative Politics and International Relations. Section A is called Comparative Political Analysis and International Politics. And then section B is called India and the world. Okay. So paper 2 headline is international relations, but section A headline is international politics. Okay. So this is how they have worded it. Is it clear? So wording is not really very accurate. Okay. Political theory, Indian politics. Indian government and politics, comparative political and international politics, India and the world. Okay. Now tell me, which sections? Now paper 1 has 2 sections, paper 2 has 2 sections. Tell me, which sections are close to GS? Which sections are already there in GS? Indian government and politics. Okay. Can you tell me what is there under Indian government and politics? Go through the syllabus. So this is IGP. Paper 1, section B. You call it 1B. 1B. First chapter, what is the first chapter about?
Political theory.
First chapter, IGP, 1B. Indian nationalism. Indian nationalism is coming, what is covered under Indian nationalism? Political strategies of India's freedom struggle, mass satyagraha, non-cooperation, civil disobedience, national movement. So where do you cover that? Modern? More specifically? Can you call it modern India? Isn't it? Or freedom struggle? Freedom struggle more specifically. Okay? Freedom struggle. Okay? Modern India. Modern India is covered. First chapter covers modern India is covered in the first chapter. First chapter is covered in modern India. And next, from chapter 2, making of the Indian Constitution, salient features. Till 11, where is it covered? Polity. So can we say huge part is polity? So little bit of modern India and huge part is 1B. Of 1B is polity. So you can say half or 1/4 of PSIR is coming from GS direct. Okay. And one more thing is you don't really need to read any extra books for PSIR for polity section. You read what you read for general studies. Most people read Lakshmikant's book and that should be enough. Okay. Questions may be different, but you will be able to write. You don't get extra from reading other books. Just Lakshmikant book should do, and any copy of the Constitution. Okay. So I mentioned books, page 10. Go through page 10. GS relevant books. Indian Polity by Lakshmikant and Constitution of India by PM Bakshi. Okay, Constitution of India by PM Bakshi is for reference and this for regular reading. And for modern India, I didn't really recommend. Whatever you are reading, be it Spectrum Guide or Bipin Chandra, will do. Okay, so 1B is covered like this, 1B. So this is GS, Polity, Modern India, and no extra books. Is it clear? Next, can you tell me which section is closer to general studies? Economy. Where is economy? Lesson 8. Is it economy? India and the world. Isn't it? 2B. 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 So what does 2B cover? India's foreign policy, India and South Asia. Go through the syllabus. SAARC, look east. India and South, WTO. India and global powers, USA, EU. India and the UN system. India and nuclear question. India's foreign policy, Afghanistan, Iraq, West Asia. Tell me, are these covered or not? Covered. Which section in GS? What is that called? International relations. Okay. But with one difference. Anyway, is there any book for international relations in GS? It's current affairs. So there is no good book on international relations because it is a static part. Okay. Sorry, dynamic part. But the static part of it, I mean the background, I myself covered in this book, India Among Nations. Okay. This is not equivalent to the examination requirements because exam calls for dynamic. This gives a static part. This covers all these countries but gives a background. But like Lakshmikant's book to Polity, there are no such books for this part because this is current affairs part and dynamic. Is it clear? And one more thing is, in political science, you need to do more than what you do in general studies. So if you do this, you are covering general studies also. So general studies is at a lower level, but this is at a much higher level. I won't say polity like that. Modern India is like that. For polity and modern India, you read the same books. But for 2B, you have to read more. You have to be better in current affairs. And then I'll be giving notes from 2 magazines. These are the magazines that I do. Page 11. For IR current affairs, I will give notes from page 11. From the Economist and the Diplomat. From the Economist and Diplomat. If you want to subscribe to one magazine, I suggest Diplomat. Okay. Yearly subscription, but the Diplomat is best because the Diplomat gives India specific details. So the way I do is the Economist gives broader, more insightful coverage, but it doesn't give enough details for us. And I do the Diplomat for more India specific details. And then after that, I do YouTube, variety of sources. But my primary sources are the Economist and Diplomat. For example, now I want to know about what has happened between India and China for the last 4-5 months. For the past 4-5 months, I am not following the news. I followed till January, till I was helping the interview students. After that, I didn't. So I want to know what happened between January to June. I'll first go through the Economist India-China relations. That's what I'm doing now. So I get a summary from the Economist. I know who visited what are the things. Then I go to the Diplomat. The Diplomat gives 3-4 articles. So I get 4-5 articles. I read these 4-5 articles. Then I will see what are the critical issues, unexplained. Then I search internet. Okay. This is what I was doing for the past many years, or few years. Now I can tell you there is one more innovative resource, almost for everything. Can you tell me what that is? What is it? What is that? Okay, which program? ChatGPT. So make best use of ChatGPT. My approach is I first go through Economist and then go through the Diplomat. But maybe you can ask ChatGPT what are the things that happened recently between India and China. It will give. Then ask questions. I haven't actively used ChatGPT for IR till now. I used it for others. But now I am going to use. Okay. So the Economist, Diplomat, now new resource is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT itself gives certain resources also. Gives resources, gives latest developments. But then you should know how to use it because it's endless. It's endless and it can take you in any direction. It doesn't guide you. If you are doing stupid things, it won't tell you you are a stupid. or you are wasting time, it won't tell you. Whatever you do, it answers and then gives something more. Okay, so you need to know how to use it. But that is a very powerful resource. So 2B in PSIR is much more than international relations in GS. So if you are good at this, GS is easy, and this is one very important source of questions in this. Okay. Just let us go through in this book, how many questions have been asked. Tell me how many years questions are analyzed in this book. What does the headline say? 2010 to 24. How many years? 14 or 15? 15 years. Okay. So, how many questions came from polity section in this 15 years? Page 12. Indian polity. See, constitution making, fundamental rights, directive principles. Go through the subheads. Constitution making, fundamental rights, direct principles, fundamental duty, secularism. See, if any subject is not there in GS, everything is there in GS, right? Interstate disputes, interstate relations, political parties, judiciary, parliament and CAG, local government, civil service, economic reforms, agriculture, caste, tribe, environment, women. So, a little more diverse than the polity section. So, 179 questions. So, huge chunk. Okay. Go through India and the world questions. Page 51. Page 51. See questions on China. How many? From 481 to 493. Then Afghanistan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar. Regional cooperation, look east, Israel, West Asia, Russia, US, Japan, EU, nuclear policy, NAM, UN, WTO, Africa, India's vision. So many questions. I gave numbers cumulatively because in the classroom I just need to mention the question number and you can go directly to that question in the book. So polity and India and the world, India's foreign policy, take many questions. You can say half. Okay. This is exactly GS, but this is more than GS, but relevant to GS. Is it clear? So you need to know more clearly, better resources, and so the economist and diplomat should do. And in general, I am not recommending any Indian sources for this. Okay. You can read foreign sources which are of better quality, but you can write in a way that you want. Okay. Whereas for polity of section 1B, these are my resources. Page 11. Hindu, Indian Express. You can just do Hindu and Indian Express. Okay. So if you want to be regular in current affairs, I will suggest these three sources. Hindu because you are in Hyderabad and you really want to see the paper physically. So Hindu, Indian Express, online daily edition, okay, and diplomat. These three. That should do. Tell me, are you clear? Hindu, to see it regularly. Indian Express, to refer. and diplomat for 2B. Okay. So if you do these three things regularly, you can consider you are really good at current affairs. Current affairs of polity and India and the world. It helps GS and it helps political science. Tell me, are the sources clear to you? So 1B and 2B are covered. Next, go to 2A. What is this 2A about? Go through what is 2A? Comparative politics, state in comparative perspective, politics of representation, globalization, approaches study of international relations, key concepts, international relations, changing international political order, collapse of Soviet Union, international economic system, UN, world politics, global concerns. What is this about? So we know this is about the world. That much we can make out. But which book people should study for them? Most students will say, we don't have any material for 2A. 2B they say current affairs, there cannot be any book. But for 2A, they don't know which book, which source. Okay. 2A attempts to give a total picture. Okay. See, let me tell you what this both political science and international relations is about. They want you to know politics. That is number one. And politics they want you to know is about politics of India as well as of the world. When it comes to the world, they want you to understand the global system as well as international relations. Global as well as India's foreign policy. Okay? Because after all, foreign policy has to depend upon what is going on in the world. So they conceived of the syllabus as something like politics in India plus foreign policy. And for foreign policy, one needs to understand the global politics and global political system. And then this whole thing has to be studied in a theoretical way. Are you following? Politics within, politics across, foreign policy, that is India and the world, but also in a theoretical way. So theoretical as well as dynamic. So my approach to 2A and also to handle some other problem in thought, political thought we will see, is that I felt students should understand history of the world, more particularly modern world. Modern world. So this is the book I wrote, Modern World. Ideas and Ideals. It starts from English Revolution, Reformation to collapse of Soviet Union, end of Cold War, like this, modern world. Okay. This is mentioned in GS syllabus also. This is supposed to be a part of GS also. Probably you will have classes in this. But there are not many questions in GS. There are, but there are not many. So students are not focusing much. But this is relevant for GS as well as political science. So just like you read modern India, you need to understand modern world. So this is the history. So my point is that 2A is hugely undefined and miscellaneous. There are theories regarding internations. For that I wrote this book, IR theory. One chapter is mentioned for IR theory. So this is one more book which is useful. Okay. So that is about 2A. So let me summarize. There are no books specifically written for 2A. It's a kind of miscellaneous topics we have to do from previous year's questions. Okay. But modern world, IR theory will help. There are no shortcuts. So most students will say that 2A is least defined, least specific part of the entire PSIR. Is it clear? Next, go to 1A. So are these 3 points clear to you? 1. Go through the syllabus of 1A. What does the syllabus say? Political theory, Indian politics. Okay, we assume Indian politics is about B. So political theory. Under political theory, what is the chapter 1? Political theory. Next, chapter 2, theories of state. Chapter 3, justice, equality, rights, democracy. 7, concept of power. 8, ideology. 9, Indian political thought. And 10, Western political thought. So look at the words they are using. First of all, they say theory. And then they say thought. And then ideology. So what is all this? For example, how is political theory supposed to be different from political thought, and political thought supposed to be different from political ideology? Anyway, Indian political thought and Western political thought, different clearly. So we can assume under Indian political thought, Indian thinkers are covered. Under Western political thought, Western thinkers are covered. Can you tell me can you see who are covered under Indian political thought? So how is this 9 different from GS syllabus? In GS, how many people are covered? Is Gandhi covered? Ambedkar? Syed Ahmad Khan? Aurobindo? Somewhat. M.N. Roy? Somewhat. But how about Dharma Shastra, Artha Shastra, Buddhist? Ancient India. So both ancient India and modern Indian thought are covered. Syed Ahmad Khan will come under modern. All are modern. So both ancient and modern, some thinkers are covered. Okay. So that is it. But then, what is theory? And then theories of state. What is ideology? What is thought? And according to the way they framed the syllabus, which is superior between theory and thought? Theory. Why so? Thought is based on theory. You can. So going by. So okay, I'll put the question like this: among theory, thought, and ideology, which is superior to what? We read theory, apply. So theory is superior. Or which is bigger, which is smaller? Theory is bigger. Why? Thank you. Theory is bigger because theory is the headline. Never forget the example of Rebel Star. Don't ask how he is a Rebel Star. He is called Rebel Star, that's all. They called something as theory, and theory they mentioned it as a headline. They called something else as thought, and they mentioned thought as a chapter in the headline. Yes or no? So how about ideology? Ideology bigger or theory bigger? Theory bigger. Ideology bigger or thought bigger? How do you know? They didn't say ideology as a part of thought. Thought. How do you know? So it raises the question, suppose you come across a book titled Political Ideologies. Can you guess what may be the chapter headlines? So book titled Political Ideology. Okay, Political Ideology book. What will the chapters be? Political thought book. What will the chapters be? Political theory. What will the chapters be? That is one. And also, should you buy all the books? Suppose same person wrote on thought, ideology and theory. Should you write all 3 books by the same person? No. Why?
Everybody has a different opinion.
That no, I'm asking one thinker, one author wrote a book titled Political Ideologies. Okay, why? Why abstract? I'll tell you somebody who wrote like that. Andrew Haywood, yes. Andrew Haywood, page 10. I told you people have problem with 2A. So people try to read or use this book, Andrew Haywood, for 2A. Somewhat useful, not so much. Andrew Haywood. Did you get my point? The same person, Andrew Haywood, wrote a book titled Political Theory. Andrew Haywood also wrote a book titled Political Ideologies. He didn't write political thought. But what would be the chapter headlines in theory and what would be the chapter headlines in ideology? And what would be chapter headlines under thought? Go through the syllabus. See how will the syllabus help. What is it that will be easiest to answer? What will be the chapter headlines under thought? Page 5, chapter 10. What does it say? Political thought. So, under the political thought, what will be covered? Don't say thought. Under political thought, thought will be covered. What will be the chapter headings under thought? Exactly, thinkers. Plato, Aristotle. Okay. Western political thought, thinkers. Indian political thought, Indian thinkers. I wrote 2 books. This is Western political thought. This is Indian political thought. Okay. All these thinkers are covered. So that is about thought. Thought covers thinkers. Okay. Then ideologies. Under ideologies, what would they cover? Again, go through the syllabus. Which chapter covers ideologies? 8. Under 8, what are mentioned? Liberalism, socialism, Marxism, fascism. Under Marxism, whom will they cover? Under Gandhism, who will cover? Whom? Gandhi. So how is it different from book on thought? A book on thought covers thinker-wise. Book on ideology will club certain thinkers under one ideology. So under Marxism, they will cover Marx, Lenin, Mao, Gramsci, like that. So ideology, cluster of thinkers. Thought, thinkers. So, if you are reading a book on ideology, you don't need to read a book on thought. You just need to know how those thinkers are clubbed under a particular ways of thinking. Is it clear? Then what is theory? Theory is now what will you see under political theory? What will be the chapters under political theory? Thought plus ideologies. Then 2 books summed up, and it will be repetitive. Under theory, again go through the syllabus. Justice, equality, rights, democracy. Under theory, certain political concepts will be covered. So theory covers concepts, thought covers thinkers, ideologies cover a group of thinkers under one label. So under theory, they call it freedom. Under freedom, they will cover mill, like that. Mill is covered under thought. Mill is covered under liberalism ideology. So, book on theory, ideology or thought, they all cover same set of issues. Are you getting my point? So, I found, not only me, most teachers find that instead of doing theories and ideologies, best to do thought and make the student think and cover the remaining chapters. So that is why in section A, the most important chapter is chapter 10. So this is the most important book you need to follow, you need to understand. This is the most important book. Western political thought. Okay. Why Indian political thought is not so important is that you are already familiar with it. Okay, you need to know some more details because you read in modern India. So Western political thought is the most important book. From the Western political thought, you understand ideologies, you understand thinkers, you understand theory, everything. Is it clear? So, entire international relations PSIR is nothing but mastery over Western political thought and being good at current affairs. Because you are anyway doing general studies. So you only need to do only one book. Tell me, is it clear? Okay. So these are interrelated, interdependent, not really independent. Okay. This is what the syllabus is. Okay, coming to what is political science or what is this theory is all about, you know. So now that you know theory, ideologies, thinkers are all related, and finally you can call them thought, and thought consists of thinkers. See, what is a thinker? How do we cover a thinker? If we are covering, the way we cover a thinker is nothing but to which era did he belong? What did he say? What are his central ideas? Okay? And what is his vision of the world? For example, you are familiar with Gandhi. What is the context? What are his unique ideas? How relevant are they? You know about Ambedkar. What was his contribution? What was uniqueness? How relevant? Okay. But to know Gandhi and Ambedkar, you also need to know the context. Okay. So you need to know, for example, when you are studying Plato, you need to understand what is the context. Why did he think the way he thought? What are his ideas? And how relevant he is still. So, what PSIR aims is, or from UPSC point of view, is that they want you to understand how political structures on the whole evolved, who are certain thinkers who proposed certain new and radical ideas, and how certain important developments in the modern world shaped this thinking, and finally, what are we and in which direction we are heading. That is what political science is about. How this is different from other disciplines is that this is primary focus is politics. Now what is politics? Politics is, I would say, is a kind of a driver to the society. My example is that if you think of a bus and somebody is driving, bus is the society and driver is politics. So the study of the bus is sociology. The study of the direction and in which direction you should go is politics. So study of politics is nothing but the study of how the society is moving and should be moving. The difference between sociology and political science is that political science focuses more on how it should go rather than how it is already. And the difference between anthropology and sociology is that anthropology goes even much to primitive roots, how man evolved tribal societies. So anthropology is very old, contemporary society is sociology, and within the contemporary societies, the driver position in the contemporary society is politics, and that is what the political science studies. Is it clear? Anthropology, old societies, and evolution, sociology, contemporary societies, and political science. What is the direction in which these contemporary societies are moving, and what should be the direction? What is and what should be? And here various perspectives. So it is not really science, but rather different perspectives, opinions, and debating those opinions and approaches. It's just like you are familiar with Gandhi and Ambedkar, okay, like two different ways of looking at the world. Like that, you come across many other thinkers. So this is about political science and international relations. Tell me if you have any questions. Now we'll come to the exam and approach. Tell me, are you clear about the subject? Have any questions? So you understand there is no science in this so-called political science. So it is about perspectives, history, context, opinions, but with a focus on politics, India and the world. Certain crucial developments that enabled this political process. Is it clear? Okay. Now we'll move towards examine the course. Okay. Optional is very, very important in the examination. Okay. And political science is doing extremely well as an optional. So top scores, top ranks are being scored by PSIR students. So it is a good optional from scoring point of view. And then you have seen how relevant for GS. And then it is also relevant for, see, you have GS 1, 2, 3, and then GS 4, and optional interview, and essay. Political science is very close to ethics paper, essay paper, and interview, and then this we have seen, polity modern India. Political science is not covering only the geography, science and technology, only ancient and medieval India. So otherwise, hugely helpful here, this thing. Okay. And so 280, 290, 270 scores also are possible. Okay. And how we intend to go about it is that the best way to prepare for the subject is not only to know the subject, but PYQs. Okay. This already gives a very clear classification of PYQs. This classification is different from the guides that you get in the market. They are mechanically classified, whereas this classification is much more insightful. This will also tell you how you should study, how various topics are interrelated. So, this is much more relevant. So, I will tell you how. So, you have to be good at the subject and practice PYQs. So, I'll tell you how my approach is. My approach is different in certain ways. It's not like marathon notes making sessions. So in many courses, students are very, very busy making notes. So the courses are primarily dependent on notes. Okay. The PYQs, everything is notes based. Whereas my classes are more discussion oriented. So how do I do the discussion? Because I have already written the books. These books are nothing but my lectures delivered, transcribed, and then put in the book form after editing. You can see some of the lectures at this website, painmanias.in. You can visit this website. You will see the strategy, and you will also see YouTube lectures corresponding to these books. For example, this is there in as a book, as YouTube lectures. This is there in YouTube lectures. This is there as a course. Some lectures are YouTube, but this is not YouTube. And there is I wrote an economy book also. This is not on YouTube. This is an ethical thought. I will be giving this also as part of the course. So, I will be giving books, and plus I will be giving everyday class sheets that give certain points about the lecture. So because of the class sheets and the books, you are freed from writing. Okay, so that is why we spend a lot of time in discussion, and sometimes we break into groups, and each group can be given a particular topic or a question. We will discuss and then make a presentation. So that's how we covered certain movies also, Gandhi movie, Ambedkar movie, and some documentaries. So students are divided into groups, they watch, and then they make a presentation. So through discussions, we cover. It's not like this. So discussions. So questions. So we do. And then regarding PYQs also, we start giving writing assignments from day one. Okay, first class starts with writing assignment, second class also writing assignment, and third class we start with the subject. So we first give PYQs. Okay, so you write based on class discussion, but you can also refer to this book. This one book I suggest. This released by Politics for India Publications. So this has done a decent job of answers to all the PYQs. So before you write your own answer, you can refer to this book and try to improve on your answer. Okay. So this again simplifies our work. So I give these 150 word assignments, you write answers, and then we have around 3 90-minute tests. 3 90-minute tests. Okay. And totally I take around 75 plus classes. So this is the format. So books, discussions, PYQ answer writing, 3 90-minute tests. Okay. This is the approach I generally follow. If you have any questions, you can ask. So tell me, what are you thinking? Are you thinking whether this optional is good, thinking of some other optional, or your optional is fine but you are not sure which course or whom to join? What are you thinking? Whatever the questions you have, you can ask. Why is it you are so completely silent? What are you thinking? Or some of you have done BA, right? So what is your understanding? Did your understanding differ from what I said? And what do you want to do from now onwards? Our course will start in July. Okay, maybe July after 15th, mostly 17th. Okay. Meanwhile, you can read NCERT books, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Okay. There are 5 books. You can complete them. It starts with democratic politics. Democratic politics 1, 2, Constitution Network, Political Theory, and India since Independence. These 5 books: Democratic Politics 1, 2, Political Theory, India Since Independence, and Constitution at Work. You can complete those 5 books. Okay. And you can also join now this particular Google Classroom. This is the code 7ZH6TD6. You can note down. I posted one video by civil topper who got 275 in PSIR. Okay, he got 53rd rank. He gave his approach. So that video you can watch, and you can also take certain tests based on the NCERT textbooks. So if you finish the democratic politics, you can take test. So you can start doing the work on political science. Okay, but once the course begins, I will give my own books, and PYQ discussions and other things will start. Okay, so even if you want to give any message, you can use that Google Classroom to give any message. So it is not notes making, it's more discussion oriented, thinking oriented, not memory oriented. But we discuss things taking the issue very seriously. But then the examination approach comes because we take PYQs and we discuss answers and I evaluate. So writing practice is part of that course. So we discuss the issues as well as examination orient is given to the practice. Okay. Any questions on this? Rajesh attended my political science course. He just wants to tell you his experience in the course. If you don't want to ask me, you can ask him. Let's go, you can come. You can speak mostly in Telugu and you can understand. You can tell him your words.
First of all, congrats చెప్పాలి ఎందుకంటే మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది ఫౌండేషన్ క్లాస్ ఇమిడియట్
చాలా నాయిసీగా ఉందా? Tell him whether they should join or not.
అదే అంటే నేను ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్తో చెప్తా మళ్ళీ మీకు సార్ చెప్పినట్టు కాకుండా. ఏంటంటే నేను 2024లో సార్ దగ్గర జాయిన్ అయినా. ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ మీకు దానికన్నా చెప్పే ముందు అంటే ఇటు స్టేజ్ ఏదో మాట్లాడుతున్నాడు ఎందుకు వినాలనే క్వశ్చన్కి అయితే ఐ ఆల్సో క్లియర్ మై ప్రిలిమ్స్ ఇన్ 2024. లేటర్ టు దట్ దాని తర్వాత ఈయన దగ్గర జాయిన్ అయ్యి ఇప్పుడు దాకా ఆయనకు కూడా నేను చెప్పలేదు. ఇప్పుడు నేను దానికన్నా ముందు ఏం చేశానంటే సుబ్రరంజన్ మేడం నోట్స్ క్లాసెస్ చాలా ఫేమస్. అంటే బేసిక్గా పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ అనేసరికి అందరు అదే అంటారు కదా అని చెప్పి నేను కూడా మేడం దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళి ఆ క్లాసెస్ తీసుకున్నాను ఆన్లైన్లో. అయితే మీకు తెలుసో లేదా, ఐ డోంట్ నో హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ యూ ఆర్ చెక్డ్ విత్ దోస్ మెటీరియల్స్. దర్ బల్క్ నోట్స్ ఇంత లా ఉండి 6 books 6 volumes ఉంటాయి. అది క్లాస్ ఎట్లా జరుగుతూ ఉంటుందంటే ఆవిడ డిక్టేట్ చేస్తూ ఉంటుంది, మనం రాస్తూ పోవాలి. క్లాసెస్ నోట్స్లన్నీ ఫిల్ చేసుకొని రిటర్న్ వచ్చినాక నాకు అసలు ఏం అర్థం కావట్లేదు, ఎందుకంటే ఐఎమ్ సైన్స్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్, నాకు టెక్నాలజీ, ఐమ్ ఫ్రమ్ బీటెక్. సో ఈ సైన్సెస్ అంటే నాకు ఏం అర్థమైపోతుండే, ఏంది నేషనలిజం అంటారు, యూనివర్సలిజం అంటారు, అసలు డెమోక్రసీ అంటే పాలిటీ వరకు ఏదో చదువుకొని అంతవరకు అర్థం చేసుకున్నాం, కానీ మోర్ ఇంటూ కదా ఇది డెప్త్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుంది పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ అనేది. అయితే సో అప్పుడు నేను అనుకున్నా, నా వల్ల అయితే లేదు, మారుద్దాం, ఏదో జాగ్రఫీ ఏదో మనకు తగ్గట్టు సబ్జెక్ట్ ఏదో తీసుకున్నాం, ఇది మనకు అయ్యే పని కాదని చెప్పేసి సర్చ్ చేస్తున్నా మార్కెట్లో ఎవరున్నారా, ఇంకేమైనా లాస్ట్ ఛాన్స్గా ఏమైనా ఇద్దామా, ఎవరైనా ఒక ఫ్యాకల్టీ ఏమైనా దొరుకుతారా ఏదో అనుకుని చెప్పి చేస్తుంటే ఆ ఇయర్ నేను మెయిన్స్ రాశాను. సో కొద్దిగా ఇప్పుడు ఎవరో నాకు సజెస్ట్ చేశారు అన్నట్టు, నార్మల్గా ఒకసారి వినిల్లు నచ్చితే తీసుకో అని చెప్పేసి వన్ ఆఫ్ ద మెంబర్ ఎవరో ఆ ఇయర్ మెయిన్స్ రాసేటోళ్ళు ఎవరో చెప్పారు. సరేలే ఇంక లాస్ట్ ఛాన్స్ కదా అని చెప్పి వచ్చాను, ఇద్దాం ఇది కాకపోతే జోగ్రఫీ షిఫ్ట్ అయిపోదాం అని చెప్పి. ఫస్ట్ డే క్లాసు సేమ్ మీకులాగే ఆ బుక్లెట్ దొరికింది, బుక్లెట్ మొత్తం అనాలిసిస్ చేసి చెప్పారు. సమ్వర్ లైక్ ఎన్ని క్లాసెస్ చాలా మందికి నేను వెతికాను, అప్పటికే నేను ఎక్కువ రీసెర్చ్ చేసి వచ్చాను, ఎవరు ఎట్లా చెప్తున్నారు, ఏం చెప్తున్నారు, నేను ఎందుకు ఇక్కడ జాయిన్ అవ్వాలి, ఈయన దగ్గర ఎందుకు జాయిన్ అవ్వాలని చెప్పి. స్టార్టింగ్లోనే మీకు ఆ బుక్లెట్ ఇచ్చేటట్టు మాకు కూడా బుక్లెట్ ఇచ్చారు. బుక్లెట్ ఇచ్చి ఈ వాజ్ డీకోడింగ్, ఎక్కడ దేని నుంచి ఏది వస్తుంది, మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద సిలబస్ అదే కదా ఇదే కదా. అందరూ ఏం చెప్తారంటే మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద సిలబస్ PSIR మీకు జిఎస్లో కవర్ అయిపోతుంది అని చెప్తున్నారు, కానీ ఎట్లా కవర్ అవుతుంది అనేది ఎవరు చెప్పట్లా. అండ్ దెన్ ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ అయింది, ఇట్లాంటి మీ ఓరియంటేషన్ విన్నా, అండ్ అప్పుడే డిసైడ్ కాలే, ఒకటి 2 క్లాసులు విందాము ఏం చెప్తారో ఈయన అనుకొని చెప్పేసి ఒక 1-2 క్లాసెస్ మళ్ళీ అటెండ్ అయినా. నాకు ఇప్పటికే గుర్తు చెప్తున్నా, అసలు ఒక్క కాన్సెప్ట్ మీద కూడా ఐడియా ఉండేది కాదు, ప్రాపర్ ఐడియా ఉండేది కాదు అసలు. ఫస్ట్ డే ఆఫ్ ద క్లాస్ నాకు ఒక షీట్ వచ్చింది, ఆ షీట్లో అందరు ఇచ్చేలాగా ఏదో ఈ థియరీస్ ఐడియాలజీ ఇట్లాంటివి ఇంతకాల సార్ చెప్పినట్టు డిఫరెన్షియేషన్ చెప్పారు కదా, థియరీ థాట్ ఐడియాలజీ అట్లాంటిది ఏం లేదు. ఒక 2 పేర్లు ఇచ్చారు, అది నోన్ ఫిగర్స్, రవీంద్రనాథ్ ఠాగూర్ వర్సెస్ గాంధీ అని ఇచ్చారు. అది క్లాస్ నేను స్టార్ట్ అంటే షీట్ పట్టుకునేటప్పుడు గాంధీ వర్సెస్ ఠాగూర్ కోసం చెప్తారేమో అని చెప్పి ఈ పర్సెప్షన్లో ఉన్న, ఎట్ ద ఎండ్ ఆఫ్ ద క్లాస్ నేను అనుకోకుండా 2 కాన్సెప్ట్లు కవర్ చేసేసా. అంటే నేను చదవకుండా ఏం వినకుండా నేషనలిజం అనే కాన్సెప్ట్, యూనివర్సలిజం అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ అసలు చదవలేదు. ఒక 2 ఫిగర్స్ తెలుసు, వాళ్ళు అందరికీ తెలుసు, మీకు నాకు మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ పీపుల్ యూ డోంట్ నో అబౌట్ దిస్ 2 గైస్. లైక్ ఠాగూర్ గురించి వినుంటారు, గాంధీ గురించి వినుంటారు, బట్ ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి ఎంతమంది మీరు ఎవరున్నారు, యూనివర్సలిజం కాన్సెప్ట్ ఎంతమందికి అంత ప్రాపర్ ఐడియా ఉంది, నేషనలిజం మీద ఎంతమందికి ప్రాపర్ ఐడియా ఉంది. ఆ సింగిల్ లెక్చర్ తర్వాత నాకు అర్థమైపోయింది. సో దెన్ నేను అనుకున్నా ఏంటంటే నాకు ఇది పర్ఫెక్ట్, అంటే నేను బుక్స్ ఎక్కువ చదవలేను, అంత బల్క్ వాల్యూమ్స్ నేను కవర్ చేయలేను, కానీ కాన్సెప్చువల్ క్లారిటీ నాకు కావాలి అన్నప్పుడు ఆ ఫస్ట్ డే ఒకటి అయింది. దాని సెకండ్ డే క్లాస్ నాకైతే నేను అంత పర్టికులర్గా గుర్తుపెట్టుకోలేదు, కానీ అగైన్ దర్ ఇస్ అ క్లాస్ ఆన్ మార్క్స్, కాల్ మార్క్స్ క్లాస్ అయిన తర్వాత ఆయన థియరీలో ఒకటి ఉంటుంది, ఆయన ఏదో చెప్తాడు వర్కింగ్ క్లాస్ కోసము మాట్లాడతాడు. సరే అది చెప్పేసి ఈయన ఏదో ఆన్సర్ రాయమని చెప్తారు, నేను వెళ్ళి ఆన్సర్ రాసి తీసుకెళ్ళి చూపించా. తీసుకెళ్ళినాక నాకేదో ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్ అనమాట సార్తో, బేసిక్ ఎక్కువ ఇంత నేర్చుకునేది ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్ త్వరగా నేర్చుకుంటాం. సో ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు ఆయన ఏం చెప్పారు, నేను చెప్పాను సార్ కాల్ మార్క్స్ అట్లా అనలేదు సార్, మీరేం సార్ ఎట్లా చెప్తున్నారు అన్న. ఆయన చెప్పలేదు, నేను చెప్తున్నాను, ఇప్పుడు ఆయన చెప్తే వింటావు, నేను చెప్తే వినవా అని అడిగారు. సో నేనేమంటున్నా అంటే అది విన్నాక నేను ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్స్ డిఫరెంట్గా ఉంటాయి. ఇప్పుడు వాళ్ళు చెప్పిందంటే అది ఫ్యాక్ట్, అదే అందరు ఫాలో అవ్వాలని లేదు. మోస్ట్ ఎందుకు ఫాలో అవుతారంటే మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ద పీపుల్ విల్ ఫీల్ దట్ సంథింగ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ రిలేటెడ్ టు. అందుకే ఇప్పుడు గాంధీ ఫిలాసఫీ అయినా నెహ్రూ ఫిలాసఫీ అయినా ఎవరిదైనా మనం ఎందుకు అప్రోచ్ అవుతాం అనుకుంటే మాసెస్ ఎక్కువ మందికి కనెక్ట్ అవుతుంటుంది. సో అందుకనే ఇప్పుడు ఒక మూవీ హిట్ ఫ్లాప్ అని ఎట్లా డిసైడ్ చేద్దాం, ఎక్కువ మంది కనెక్ట్ అయిందనుకో హిట్, కనెక్ట్ అవ్వలేదనుకో ఫెయిల్ అంటాం, మనం ఫ్లాప్ అంటాం. అట్లా అంటే అలా వెళ్ళింది నా ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకు జాయిన్ అయ్యాను. సో ఐ సెడ్ లైక్ మార్కెట్లో చూశాను ఈయన దగ్గర ఏం యూనిక్ ఉంది, నాకు అది సూట్ అవుతుందో లేదో చెక్ చేసుకున్నా, ఇట్స్ ఫిట్ కోర్సులో జాయిన్ అయిపోయినా. జాయిన్ అయ్యాక మీరు 6 months కోర్స్ ఇది, మీకు బేసిక్గా ఎక్కడా ఉండదు, 1, 2, 3, 4 monthsలో కవర్ చేస్తామంటే. ఈవెన్ సుబ్రరంజన్ ఆల్సో 5 months తీసుకున్నారు, కానీ డిక్టేషన్ అన్నట్టు కంటిన్యూస్ డిక్టేషన్, నోట్స్ రాస్తూనే ఉండాలి. సో 6 months క్లాస్ అన్నాక ఫస్ట్ నేను భయపడ్డా, 6 months అంటున్నారు ఈయన, మనం ఏం మిగతాది ఎట్లా కవర్ చేస్తాము, ఏంది ఎట్లా అని. దాని తర్వాత ఎన్రోల్ అయినాక గైస్ రెగ్యులర్గా షీట్ వస్తుంది మీకు, ప్రతిరోజు తీసుకొస్తారు. ఈజ్ గోయింగ్ టు అంటే ఈ 6 months ఆయన డెడికేట్ చేస్తారు. ఈ డోంట్ మైండ్ ఇఫ్ ఎనీవన్ జాయిన్స్ ఆర్ నాట్, ఐ డోంట్ నో. మీరు ఇద్దరు జాయిన్ అయినా అట్లనే చెప్తారు, 10 మంది ఉన్న అట్లనే చెప్తారు, 100 మంది ఉన్న అట్లనే చెప్తారు. ఈవెన్ ఐ ఆస్క్డ్ హిమ్, సార్ నాకు ఒక్కసారి ఛాన్స్ ఇవ్వండి, నేను ఒకసారి వచ్చి ఓరియంటేషన్ క్లాస్లో నేను ఒకసారి చెప్తాను. ఎందుకంటే చాలామంది స్టూడెంట్స్కి మనం ఫస్ట్ జడ్జ్ చేస్తాం. స్టార్టింగ్ డే వెళ్ళి ఈయన చెప్పేది మనకి ఏమైనా అర్థం అవుతుందా, ఇది ఏంది అనేది అట్లా జడ్జ్ చేస్తాం. సో ఫస్ట్ డే మిమ్మల్ని ఫస్ట్ 1-2 డేస్లో జడ్జ్ చేస్తే నేను అది, ఎందుకంటే నా ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఎవరైనా అడుగుతుంటే, ఇప్పుడు ఆల్రెడీ ఒక 4 మెంబర్స్ ఉన్నారు, నేను జాబ్లోకి వెళ్ళిపోయాను దాని తర్వాత. సో ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ మెయిన్స్ నాతో పాటు అంటే మిగతా ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఎవరైతే రాస్తున్నారో వాళ్ళు అడుగుతూ ఉంటారు సార్ కోసం. నెక్స్ట్ మీరు నమ్మండి, మీరు ఈ కోర్సు కంప్లీట్ అయిన తర్వాత బయట ఎవరితో అయినా డిస్కషన్ పెట్టండి, ఎనీ ఎలైట్ వాడు హైయెస్ట్ ప్రొఫెషనల్ అంటే వాడు ఫిలాసఫీ స్టూడెంట్ అయినా భయపడమాకండి. ఎందుకంటే ఐ యూస్ టు హ్యావ్ దిస్ కన్వర్సేషన్ విత్ మై యూఎస్ నుంచి నాకు ఒక అన్న ఉండేవాడు, ఆయన ఫిలాసఫీలో దిట్ట అన్నట్టు. సంవట్ చిన్న ఒక డెమోక్రసీ కాన్సెప్ట్లో నేను అంటే సంవట్ అన్నాడు, వీడి దగ్గర ఏదో మ్యాటర్ ఉంది, ఆయన ఫిలాసఫర్లా మాట్లాడి చెప్తాడు. ఎందుకంటే ఈ థింగ్స్ లైక్ హీ హాజ్ యూజ్ నాలెడ్జ్ అన్నట్టు. సో నేను క్లాసెస్ వెళ్ళాక బేసిక్ నాలెడ్జ్ అని చెప్తాను. నేను ఏమి ఆయన ఇచ్చిన అన్ని అంటే మిగతా ఏవో రకరకాల రిసోర్సెస్ ఏం చదవాలి, ఆయన క్లాసులు విన్నా, డిస్కషన్స్లో ఫాలో అయ్యా. ప్రతి డిస్కషన్, నాట్ ఈవెన్ సింగిల్, అంటే మీకు రిలీజియన్ మీద కానీ ఏ కాన్సెప్ట్ అయినా తీసుకోండి, క్రిటికల్ ఉంటాయి బేసిక్గా అర్థం చేసుకోవడానికి. ఇప్పుడు సింపుల్గా ఇప్పుడు రష్యా ఉక్రెయిన్ వార్ జరిగింది అనుకోండి, ఇమ్మీడియట్గా మనం ఏది గుడ్ ఏది బ్యాడ్, మనకు ఫ్రెండ్ రష్యా కదా రష్యా గుడ్, లేకపోతే ఏది బ్యాడ్, అట్లా మనం డైరెక్ట్గా మనము అంటే వచ్చే న్యూస్ అయినా కానీ అంటే ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ చేస్తాం కదా, మారిపోతుంది. అంటే నేను ఇక్కడ 3 సెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఆడియన్స్కి నేను చెప్తున్నా, కొత్తగా ఇప్పుడు దాకా ఏ పుస్తకాలు ముట్టుకొని అసలు జనరల్ స్టడీస్ మీద ఐడియా లేదన్నట్టు చాలా లెక్కేవాళ్ళు, డీల్ అని వెనక్కి వెళ్ళాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. కొంత నేర్చుకున్నాము పర్వాలేదు అనుకున్నప్పుడు మిగతా సబ్జెక్టులకి ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ మారిపోతుంది. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు సపోజ్ ఇప్పుడు సార్ చెప్పినట్టు ఈ సిలబస్ కానీ మీరు క్లాసెస్ వింటే, ఐఎమ్ నాట్ మీరు చదవకపోయినా నాకు అనవసరం, ఈ క్లాసెస్ వింటే మీరు మోడర్న్ హిస్టరీ పుస్తకం ఒకసారి తీయండి, స్పెక్ట్రమ్ బుక్, మీ థింకింగ్ మారిపోతుంది. అసలు దన వెళ్ళిపోతుంది బుక్ స్పీడ్. అంటే ఆల్మోస్ట్ అన్నీ కవర్ అయిపోతాయి మీకు. అంటే ఇట్స్ మై వ్యూ, మీ ఇష్టం అది ఎట్లా చేంజ్ చేసుకుంటారు, అది మీకు సూట్ అవుతుందో లేదంటే నేను అట్లా ఏం చెప్పట్లేదు. బట్ వాట్ ఇట్ హెల్ప్డ్ మీ, ఆయన ఏం చెప్పాడు నాకేం వర్కౌట్ అయ్యింది, మీకు అవ్వచ్చేమో, మీకు ఎవరికైనా వర్కౌట్ అవుతుందేమో అని చెప్తున్నా అంతే. సో మీ దగ్గర నుంచి అంటే ఆయన దగ్గర నుంచి మనం ఏం ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేయొచ్చు అంటే, ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ప్రాపర్ లైక్ ఏ సార్లా అంటే ఐ డోంట్ నో ఎనీ వన్ ఇన్ ద ఇండస్ట్రీ, ఈ కోచింగ్ ఇండస్ట్రీలో సొంత పేపర్లో అంటే మనం రాసే ప్రతి పేపరు మన దగ్గర పెట్టి కూర్చోబెట్టి కరెక్షన్ చేసి ఇది కరెక్టా కాదని చెప్పి, అంటే నాకు మొన్నటిదాకా తెలియదు నా మెయిన్స్ ఫెయిల్ అవ్వడానికి కారణం ఏంటనేది మొన్న తెలిసింది నాకు. ఏంటంటే మనం బేసిక్గా రాసే ఆన్సర్స్ ఏవైతే ఉన్నాయో అవి ఆన్సర్స్ మనం రీప్రొడ్యూస్ చేస్తున్నాం. సార్ చెప్పినట్టు డేటా మొత్తం వెళ్ళి నింపుతున్నాం, ఎసెన్స్ ఆఫ్ ద క్వశ్చన్ అసలు ఉండట్లేదు. ఆ క్వశ్చన్ ఏదో అడుగుతాడో ఉండో దానికి సంబంధం లేకుండా మనం ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ మొత్తం రాస్తున్నాం. సార్ మా చేత 150 వర్డ్స్ మీకు ఇప్పుడు చెప్తున్నట్టు ఈ 150 వర్డ్స్ పేపర్స్ ఏవైతే రాస్తారో ప్లీజ్ మీరు రాయండి. అది రాస్తే ఎస్ఐ క్వశ్చన్ కాదు, ఎథిక్స్ క్వశ్చన్ కాదు, జిఎస్లో ఏ క్వశ్చన్ కాదు, ఆప్షనల్ ఏ క్వశ్చన్ అయినా అవ్వనియండి, మీరు ఆలోచించే విధానం మారిపోతుంది. ఒక క్వశ్చన్ ఇది అడుగుతుంది, సరే మీరేమిస్తారు దానికి ఆన్సర్ ఏమిస్తారు అన్నది డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ యూ. ఇన్ఫర్మేటివ్గా ఇస్తారా లేకపోతే క్వశ్చన్ అడుగుతున్న ఎసెన్స్కి తగ్గట్టు ఇస్తారా అన్నది డిపెండ్స్ ఆన్ యూ. బట్ అది నేను అంటే సార్ దగ్గర నుంచి మీరేం తీసుకోవచ్చు అంటే, జనరల్ డిస్కషన్స్లో మీకున్న అన్ని కాన్సెప్ట్స్ మీద క్లారిటీ వచ్చేస్తుంది. అది మీరు రెగ్యులర్గా ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయ్యి అంటే క్లాస్ వింటే చాలు. ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ అబౌట్ యూ టు స్టడీ ఆల్సో. జస్ట్ వింటే ఆయనతో డిస్కషన్లో ఉంటే మీరు ఇప్పుడు పట్టుకున్న పుస్తకంలో ఉన్న సిలబస్ పేపర్ మొత్తం మీ అంటే ఇలా చెప్తారన్నట్టు ఏందన్నట్టు. తర్వాత మీరు ఎట్లా తీసుకోవాలి సబ్జెక్ట్ని, ఎలా ఆన్సర్స్ ఎట్లా రాస్తారు, అది ఎట్లా లింక్ చేసుకుంటారంటే ఆయన అడిగి మీరు ఆన్సర్స్ రాసి అది ఇంకా మీ వర్క్ అన్నట్టు. దెన్ మీరు అదే ఇవి నేను మోస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ది థింగ్స్ నేను చెప్పేది. సో నాట్ ఓన్లీ పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ అంటే నేను మార్చుకుందాం అనే కాన్సెప్ట్లో వచ్చా. పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ ఇంకొద్దు, నా వల్ల కాదు, అంతమంది థింకర్స్ ఈ ఐడియాలజీస్ ఏం మన వల్ల కాదనుకున్న మార్చుకోవడానికి వచ్చి అసలు ఇంక పొలిటికల్ సైన్స్ బ్యూటీ అయిపోయింది, నాకు ఇష్టం అయిపోతుంది. అంటే ప్రతి ఆన్సర్లో ఇదేదో కాన్సెప్ట్ తీసుకొచ్చి అక్కడ రాద్దాం అన్నట్టు అనిపిస్తుంది. సో అట్లా మీలో ఎవరైనా భయపడుతున్నా అంటే మార్చుకుందాం అనే కాన్సెప్ట్లో ఉన్నా అది మీరు ఒకసారి 1-2 క్లాసెస్ మీరు అటెండ్ అయ్యి అప్పుడు మీరు ఇంటర్ప్రిటేషన్ తీసుకొని అంటే జాయిన్ అవుదామా లేదు, ఇట్స్ యువర్ విష్. బట్ దిస్ ఇస్ మై ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, దట్ ఇస్ ఆల్ వాంట్ టు షేర్ ఇట్ విత్ యూ. థ్యాంక్ యూ.
basically students have a lot of commitment to the exam. They want to work hard, okay? They want to do anything, and some are working even for 5 years, 6 years. But then they don't really have the habit of thinking critically. That is the most serious issue. They are willing to memorize tons and tons of information. They are not willing to stop for a minute and then see what is all this. So what changes in my course is that students also come with such a motivation to work. In the beginning, they are exam oriented, they are more interested in PYQ, syllabus coverage. But somewhere students think, oh, something is going on in this class, we should learn. So I would say in my classes, students are somehow trapped into learning. I would say they are trapped because they haven't come for it. They have come to master the subject, they have come to reproduce. They haven't thought of learning about it. So somewhere they think, what is all this? So I knew one teacher who said, who used to teach essay in Delhi. He said, students come for us for marks. So they expect us to teach something that they write and they get more marks. But then the teacher said, he said, if we do that only, we should consider ourselves as failed. It means that is an interaction where the student knows what the teacher has to give. It means teacher is not really giving something new, something unexpected. So students come with different kinds of ambitions, intentions, but the teacher should drag them into really a learning process, should really think about what is this subject. And for that purpose, first teacher should be interested in learning, and he should convey that with the students. Okay. So, in fact, I was teaching other subjects. I taught anthropology. I wrote books in anthropology. I taught most of it except physical and archaeological. They are not mine. And later I taught sociology, and only then shifted to political science. Because I found political science is like the last point, which is really driving the society. Okay, so I learned with interest. So I try to convey that interest to you. So that's how students somewhere at some stage in the course get into learning and thinking. That's how they change. Okay? So please think about it and then join that. Join that and start reading NCERT books, and you can start taking assignments. Okay? Most probably the course will start after July 15th, maybe 17th, around that. Okay? Fine. Bye. Thank you. Any questions? You have some? Please. That is? No. Go to that. classroom.google.com. Just try. These are all small letters. Can you try? Can others also try? 7J Z H 60 D6. Is it working? Oh, 6. You wrote, I mean, you think it is B. Okay, this is 6. Seven ZZ 60 D6. Try it. Seven ZZ. It's easy. Just go to that and they ask for a code. Working, right? That is not B, it is 6. 7ZZH6TD6. And if you want to listen to lectures on thinkers, go to this website. So this website gives links to books and YouTube channel. Okay, you can leave.